Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Divine Life. It's a preview episode. I'm just giving you guys a taste of what is to come. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. As you can see, I'm in my new studio space and I finally have my microphone on. I hope you can hear me. If you like what you see and you like what you're about to hear, please, please, please click subscribe, like, and share the videos. Okay, so today is a very special video. We're going to be feeding my snake Lestat. But before we actually show you the video of him eating and him eating a live
Seriously
mouse,
delicious.
I want to talk to you about why I choose to feed live, why I have him in the enclosure that I do, and then also why I'm choosing something called choice handling. Okay, so before we get into it, I want you guys to know that I'm not an expert. I have an affinity for snakes. If you don't know, I was born the year of the snake, which is 19, and and I have always had a love for snakes ever since I was a child. I just had snakes all throughout my childhood. I had a boa constrictor, I had an albino king snake, I had a garter snake, I had a ball python, and then I had another ball python. For reasons that are just extenuating circumstances, unfortunately, I no longer have those snakes, and now I have Lestat. I think the reason that Lestat is in my life now is because I'm really, really, really ready to embrace the idea of having a snake in the house. And ever since he's been in my life, I know a lot of people won't understand this, but there's just a connectivity that I feel with him. There's a camaraderie that I feel with him. I feel as though snakes are very misunderstood creatures. They're very powerful. A lot of people have misinformed notions about them and they think they're slimy, and they're not. And the one thing that I really love about snakes is that the only way that they can grow is to shed their skin. I identify on so many different levels with snakes. The reason that I named him Lestat is number one, the movie Interview with a Vampire. I absolutely love that movie. And I got a boy because boys are innately smaller than females. So I have him in a 3 by 3 by 2 enclosure. What they say for adults is that they need a 4 by 2 by 2 enclosure, because a lot of people don't realize that ball pythons do climb. And the way that I built his enclosure, as you guys are going to see in the video, is basically that I gave him, first of all, it's a bioactive enclosure, and I gave him a lot of climbing tools to where he can climb up to like 3 feet. Like, he climbs and he uses it every single day. Like, if you give the animals something to utilize, they're going to use it, because in nature, for some odd reason, a lot of people call ball pythons like pet rocks. They say that they're very boring. They say that all they do is sleep and eat. Sounds kind of like me, except I actually work. But yes, they are nocturnal creatures. Yes, they are more active at night, but as they become more comfortable and more confident in who they are as snakes, because they're really tiny, the entire world is very big to them. So they're very reclusive in the very beginning, but as they get comfortable in their environment and as they get comfortable, being around you, they'll explore more and more and more. And I've had him for about 2 months. He's a little over 4 months old. And in the beginning, all he did was hide. Like, he was just scared of me. He was scared of the world. And now, 2 months later, after having him in his bioactive enclosure, which basically means that there are little isopods and springtails in there that are like the cleanup crew. So they clean his tank. So I don't have to like go in there and clean up his poop or anything like that, because they take care of everything. Of course, like, if I see huge clumps of crap, I'm not going to leave his urates in there. But even that, like, the little guys, they'll take care of it and they clean it. And I just have to feed them, make sure that his enclosure is humid enough for him to where his skin is healthy, to where he has good sheds. make sure that the temperature is good. So on the right side of his enclosure, I have 2 different types of heaters, actually 3. So because it's so tall, the heat, he needs a lot of heat to like get down to the surface. And then there's also a heat lamp. And then I only keep the heat lamp on during the day. So on the right side of the enclosure, it goes anywhere between like 85 to 100 degrees. And then on the left side, it goes from like 70 to like 85. So he can thermal regulate, and he'll like go on the hot side at night after he eats, which he ate today. And then on the left side, he'll go and do his thing. And he's so healthy. He's so hungry, like all the time. Never turned away food. And the reason that I choose to feed him live is because I want him to have the best life possible. And me personally, this is just a personal decision that I chose to make. I don't feel it's right to feed an animal that normally in nature would eat live prey to then switch them to frozen prey. I don't think that it's as healthy for them. I don't think it's as humane for them. I think it's negating who they are as snakes. And I think that it depletes their natural instinct to where they're not really acting like a snake. It's so beautiful to watch him just be who he's supposed to be. And we're building like this relationship together. And it's something that most people won't understand. But for me, he has a beautiful, amazing personality. He's so inquisitive, but yet he's still cautious. And I watch him get more and more and more comfortable with me, which is why I'm practicing something called choice handling. So, choice handling is basically I don't reach in and go after him like to pick him up or anything of that nature. I am building a relationship with him. Ball pythons live anywhere between 20 to 30 years. So this is going to be a very long relationship that he and I are going to have. And I don't ever want him to feel that he's in danger. And his little self, seeing a hand or seeing a hook come after him is going to frighten him. And it could possibly cause him a lot of stress. And I just don't want to do that. I want to build the relationship to where he sees me in front of the tank. He sees me living my natural life. He sees me doing whatever. Snakes don't have the best vision, but they do acknowledge like movement. And imagine if you were a snake size and you saw this humongous thing like walking toward you, like going like this. It would freak you the freak out, which is why a lot of snakes in captivity don't eat, which is why they get nervous, which is why they're stressed out. And that is not the life that I wanted for him. When I chose to bring him into my life, I really wanted to give him the best life possible, which is why not only am I taking care of him the right way, but I'm also taking care of me. This has inspired me in so many different ways to live my absolute best self. And yes, I am a makeup artist. Yes, I work in the beauty industry. Yes, I, like to dress up and like to, go out and, do whatever, go to fashion shows and all of that stuff and travel around the world. But I also have an affinity for snakes. And I work so much and I'm so busy that having a dog wouldn't be the best option for me. Not right now, anyway. Maybe if I'm in a relationship or something like that and I move into a home, maybe I would have a dog at that time. But right now, it's just not feasible for me. And what is feasible for me is to have a snake in the house. And I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about these last 2 months of building the relationship. And yes, let's go back to choice handling. So choice handling is basically where I sit in front of his enclosure with the doors open. It's one of those front loading enclosures, like you open it like this. And I sit there. Now, as soon as I open the glass, he can see me because snakes have thermal heat sight. So yeah, he's going to see, but his little pits in the front, they pick up and register heat. So that's how they find their food. So when I sit in front of him, he knows that I'm there. If I have the glass closed, he doesn't really register the heat, so he just goes about his business. But when I have the doors open, he can see and he'll like freeze a little bit. And then when he gets comfortable and realizes that I'm not going to hurt him, then he'll start to move. So what I'm doing is I'm building this relationship with him where he gets more and more comfortable with me. And then lo and behold, studies have shown that once they start to get comfortable, they'll start to explore you. Now, I'm not going to be reaching in. I'm going to have him come to me. And I don't ever want him to feel afraid or stressed out by me reaching in after him. I want him to like come forward. When snakes feel like they're under attack or they're stressed out, they like freeze, and you can see it in their neck. Their neck becomes really stiff and they're like ready to strike at any time. Because snakes will only strike for one of two reasons: either if they feel threatened or if they're going to eat. So his hunger response, I don't ever want that to be associated with me. So like as soon as I put in a live mouse, I close the enclosure so he only picks up the scent of the mouse and he only is striking at the mouse and doing what he needs to do. But when I do open the enclosure, let's say 2 to 3 days later after he's digested his food, then what I will do is just sit there, and he hasn't really wanted to come to me yet because he's only 4 months old. So he's just like, who the fuck is this bitch? But he's probably like, who is this big ass monster and why are they sitting here looking at me? But over time, he will. And it's a 20, 30-year relationship. So I'm not in a rush. I just want to take my time with him. And it's teaching me so much about patience, about understanding, and about, just allowing life to happen and instead of forcing it to happen. Like, I know a lot of people who handle their snakes every day, who reach into their enclosures, who do whatever, do this and do that. And yeah, some of them, have great relationships with their reptile, and then others, the snake doesn't eat, it freaks out, it's like blah blah blah, and then it just dies. So I just want to take my time and do it my way. And my way is working for me. He's very healthy. He has never turned away food. I've watched him hunt in so many different ways, and every single time that he hunts, he does something differently. Like today, when he was hunting, he was wagging his tail. I had never seen him do that before, and he was actually wagging his tail. It was so cool to watch him do that, and that's what you're going to be seeing in the video in a moment. But the reason that I'm doing this video is that I find that there's a huge community of people out there who love snakes like I do, and sharing him with the world. I don't know why I never wanted to share my previous animals or my previous pets with the world, because I always felt like people had this like negative idea about a snake and whatever. I think I'm at an age and at a moment in my life where I just don't give a damn anymore. I don't care if people judge me or if people think I'm a weird girl or, oh my god, she likes snakes, she must be weird. No, whatever. Yeah, I'll own it. I'm a little weird. So are you. And I think we're all a little weird, and it's okay to like what you like. And if you don't like what you don't like, then you don't like what you don't like. But I like snakes. I like Lestat. I am growing to love him, and he and I are building a relationship, and I'm taking care of him, and it's teaching me so much about myself through him, and seeing the world through his eyes is really beautiful. It's nice to have a creature like him in the house. And I don't know, I just feel like I have a sense of purpose with him. Like, he needs me, because without me, there's no way that he would be surviving. Like, of course, if I chose to not purchase him, then he would have went to another home. But I did, and I purchased him online, and he was shipped to me overnight from Florida. And I have his birth date. His birth date is the 4th of July. Actually, July 3rd. It's July 3rd, yeah. And he just turned 4 months old. It is now November the 12th, so he's a little over 4 months old, and he's just the best. And I just adore him. And introducing him to you guys is like really exciting for me. So without further ado, this is his feeding video. And you guys get to see him actually eat a live mouse. And if you're of the faint of heart, this is something that you're a little freaked out about, you don't have to watch. You can turn off the video now. But if you do want to see, I'm letting you in. Got him. Patience is a virtue. If you like what you saw, definitely subscribe, definitely contribute to the channel. You'll see my little right here, the little PayPal and Venmo little, what do they call them? QR codes. And you can donate to the channel and help us out with editing, help us out with all different kinds of things. Like there's so many things that I want to do in regards to marketing, in regards to advertising, building the brand. I want to thank all of my amazing subscribers, and a quick shout out to one of my all-time top contributing subscribers. I want to send a personal shout out to Marcus, where I answered a lot of your questions, but all of those videos unfortunately got deleted. Resubmit those questions if you'd like, and I will definitely make videos to answer those questions. And if anybody out there has any questions or comments, definitely leave them below, and I'll make a whole video just answering questions about anything you guys want to know about it. There's something else that I do plan to do to make it even that much more amazing, but it's on the way and I haven't installed it as of yet, but it's really cool. So thank you for joining the Divine Life. If you haven't subscribed already, definitely subscribe. Love you guys. And I thank you for watching. So talk to you soon. Bye.